Howdy y'all, Dean Still here from the official home, unofficial Grateful Dead and music news, reporting on the tour finale in Boulder. I guess this is like the official tour wrap-up. We've had a go of it here at the Oteil home, and so I'm late on this one. We had to get away for a few days, headed to the beach for a few days. Trouble comes in threes a lot of the time, and it's just been a hard one. It's been a relentless kind of attack on the family the past week, and anyway, we're gonna get through it. We will survive. I'm not gonna go into any more of that bullshit. That's really not for you guys, but we appreciate the support. We'll need plenty of it, so keep sending it. Anyway, the band's in Boulder. I wasn't even gonna review these because listen, if I'm home here in the home studio, I've got an outstanding sound system. Really, it sounds good in here. It sounds it's damn near as good as it sounds there. It's not quite, but almost. And I don't have all y'all with me, which makes a huge difference. If I could squeeze y'all in this room, we'd have a motherfucker of a time. But anyway, we can't do that. So I watched this and listened along by different ways, computer and phone and stuff like that. Sometimes to me, it's very hard to get any kind of clue of how things really came across when you kind of listening in a way that kind of lacks the power and punch that you might otherwise experience, but nothing tops the live thing. Anyway, just to get it out there, I've gotten so many messages and requests, so we're going to go through it regardless. Night one gets open, and you know, they open it up, they get right to it with Not Fade Away. That's a really good sign of things to come, you would imagine. They didn't skimp on the Not Fade Away. That was getting a full treatment. That was went on for about 10 minutes. That was good stuff. Then you get Cold Rain and Hail. I mean, really, shit. Listen, I've said you're sweating your nuts off in a shed somewhere, and someone's playing Cold Rain and Snow. I don't get it, but I guess if you do it long enough, you can make fucking Cold Rain and Snow in the summer. So there's the power of the Grateful Dead. They played Cold Rain and Snow enough, they actually made it fucking hail in July. So while my brothers insisted this might be one of those shows, it was better experience if you were home, because that break was nothing to me. I had some snacks, I made a sandwich, I did some yoga. That's a fucking lie. I didn't do any yoga, but I had time to if I wanted to, but y'all were getting relentlessly attacked by the weather there. The weather was all over you, so hail and rain and man, that's fucked up. So anyway, they come back. This is probably the greatest part. You damn near, I guess, probably an hour later, they come back, they do their best to pick up Cold Rain and Snow right where they left off there. That was fun the way they did that. I kind of thought at that point they would just absolutely rage the end of Cold Rain and Snow. They just kind of finished it. You get Bertha next. That's a good choice. I mean, it's all night pouring. Not a drop on John. His ass was taken off the stage before any of it fell. They were plenty comfortable. Not a drop on him. Y'all motherfuckers that were there were soaked. Anyway, that's a good time. You get me and my uncle. Ramble on Rose. Listen, Ramble on Rose to me is when they really start. That's Caminti. He takes that one. I mean, he's just got a giant sponge that's full of musical notes, and he just wrings that motherfucker out. And then he takes the sponge, he puts it back in the bucket full of notes, he just wrings it out again. I mean, the way he plays that song, he adds some solos and some power to that song that I'm not sure the song ever had before. Really, the way he takes to Ramble on Rose and those solos, outstanding, man. Caminti just always a solid player, and he was great all summer long. Half Step up next, and that's always a fun time. Cassidy was good. I'm not sure it was, you know, what I thought a lot of this stuff was gonna be. You get Deal next. That's one from your late 80s and early 90s. Got a bunch of Cassidy deals, so that's a good way to kind of, they're not gonna, they said, I think it was after Ramble on Rose, we just said, we're due to the weather thing, we're not gonna take a break, so if you need one, don't wait on us. So they were just gonna play this whole thing straight through. So there you go, Deal would have ended the first set. Instead, it's just really, you had a 1.5 song first set, and then the rest of it all second set pretty much, I guess. Boxer Rain's up next. Boxer Rain, when I talked to Oteil, he was telling me you could tell that this song was written by someone that's not a singer. You know, it's just not easy to sing and play, and it's obvious that it wasn't written by someone who's a regular singer, and it's apparent when it tries to come off. It was shelved for a while. Nobody really wanted it. Apparently, it's a kind of awkward tune to try to sing and play, which fits Phil perfect because he's an awkward fucking singer. So anyway, that song's Phil's. Anyway, that's Phil's song. That's one of the songs belongs to him. Every time I hear him sing it, just brings back tons of good memories, makes me feel it, and I'm not sure if that one is ever going to fit this band real good, but I love to hear it because it tells a tremendous story, and it's full of quotes that can help you move along in life when you're having all kinds of challenges and stuff like that. I mean, that Boxer Rain will ease the pain, and love will see you through, no doubt about that. China Rider's up next, and the China Rider is that's a good time. Always going to be a good time. Terrapin, listen, drum space, Casey Jones, other one do. You look at this whole second set on paper, it's a monster, and to me it was all very good. It was all played good. I really thought both nights were played very good, but if I'm being honest, I'm not feeling what I thought was going to happen in Colorado. I really thought that everything was just going to be a straight up rage fest, that they were just going to tear it up. Like, no, this whole tour, they've been tearing things up. And I thought everything was great, and I thought it was a great 2 nights in Boulder, but I left the first night kind of feeling like the song list was really good. I think they left some meat on the bone, if you ask me. I just don't think they were reaching as deep into some of the stuff as I'd experienced from a lot more of the summer. I think the dew of the summer's got to go to Shoreline Night 2. You know, you'd like to say City because you were right there and the Wolf was on Mayor, but really, if you listen to the song and the jams throughout, Shoreline Night 2 gets my nod for the best dew of the tour. City's going to be right after that one. Boulder probably next. Whatever, it's a different experience for everyone, so, you know, whatever you hold tight, as you just keep holding. You get the Weight, that comes up next, and well, they give you U.S. Blues because they know, well, we're going to play the Weight and we sound like shit on that, so let's give you something after that so we don't have to send you to the parking lot with all that shit in your ears. Let's try to rinse out your ears with U.S. Blues. So appreciate them doing that. We get to night 2. The forecast was not looking very good for night 2 either. Seemed like maybe dodged a bullet there. Open up the show with Scarlet Fire. I mean, that's a pretty strong way to get things started. That's the way to get a party started. The Scarlet Fire was good. A lot of Scarlets this tour. It seemed like there was a bunch of them. Listen, if they're going to repeat some shit, go ahead and repeat Scarlet. That's fine with me. It's better than repeating Picasso Moon or Easy Answers, which we can be eternally grateful. Easy Answers was left out of this tour altogether. I can't tell you how happy that made me. If anything about this tour made me feel better, as I had to deal with some really hard stuff here in the final weeks of the tour, I guess I could take some solace in the fact that I didn't have to hear Easy Answers. So appreciate that. Thank you to Matt Bush and Bob Weir for leaving that one out. Anyway, Brown Eyed Women up next, and that's fine. You get Loser, which is good. They love each other. It's fine. Listen, they find some ways to jam throughout. They love each other that just incredible, really. Throughout all this stuff, you know, the Bird song is hitting, and New Speedway, or No Speedway, really, and Don't Ease. This whole stretch of music, they just found really interesting places to go with the music. And as I was listening, I thought, man, they have found some avenues to take with some of these tunes that are fresh and new. And you know, Mayer he's added a new feeling to every time he's taken these songs on, you know, and they've repeated a bunch of them several times. He's had a fresh take on them every time. He's really finding a lot of different ways to go about expressing himself through these songs, and it's pretty obvious to me he's under the influence of some psychedelics, because really the way he's jumping into this stuff, the way he's been playing, the way he's jumps right into the stew there and picks out a note and just kind of takes it wherever the hell he wants to wander with it, completely detached from where the rest of the band seems to be going. And as they're wandering around, there's little meeting places along the way where they're all kind of getting together as a group and hitting some really tremendous peaks and highs. This was some interesting music played really well. I mean, this whole summer, high level play by our favorite musicians, and I thought that's how they ended that first set there. Just some strong high level play, some great exploration on, say, even the new Speedway sometimes can be kind of lifeless at the tempo they play it, but I enjoyed the second night of Boulder. I was able to kind of jump in the pocket with that one, feel that one just fine. So as in the Donies, I liked that. The pace on that was powerful. The second set opens, you get Playing. That one we probably saw coming from a mile away. Estimated Franklin's. There you go. Franklin's going to get a party started good. Eyes of the World, always a great one for these guys. You get Standing on the Moon. If you ask me, I don't know what it is, but Standing on the Moon doesn't have the same amount of power before Drums in Space as it has after Drums in Space. And I don't know why that is. Maybe it's just me personally, but it seems like when that one comes on the other side of Space, it means more. And like I said, maybe it's me. It just seems like there's more weight to it. There's more. It just seems deeper. And playing that before Drums in Space, there was nothing wrong with it. It was just fine. But to me, it just doesn't carry the same kind of significance as when it's played in the final moments of the show. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's just me, and I should fuck off. Anyway, Drums is great. Space is great. Mayer really finding some incredible ways to play around with things during Space. Like I said, he has taken the crash course in psychedelic guitar playing, and I mean, he's proven time and time again that he can find new and interesting ways to discover the stuff that exists in this music and this catalog, and just outstanding job. You had a lot of Love Supreme there. Space jams, and then you get Althea. So Althea, for the second time we get out of Space, they do a great job on that, so that's fine. Put that wherever the hell you want it. You want to play it out of Space, I guess go ahead. And it's always good. The Days Between's next, just a menacing kind of anthem. And I remember this from the last year at Boulder, you know, that Days Between, just talked about the reverence that existed while that song was being played was palpable as it came through the airwaves. And you know, no different, I guess. They finish up the Not Fade that they opened the show with the night before. I mean, that's a fine way to just kind of encapsulate these two nights. Ripple, you get, everyone's gonna love that, bro. We got some real tear jerkers to close the show. You get Ripple and you get Broke Down, and you know, to me, that's as emotional way to end a couple of nights in a great summer tour as you can have. Playing in the band Reprise, let's finish that one off while we're at it. So we get the end caps with Not Fade, and then the kind of the end caps within the end caps with, you know, the Playing and the Playing Reprise to finish things off. Really strong two nights in Boulder. I'm not sure as strong as I kind of assumed they might be. I thought these were going to be stellar, kind of like space travel type shows, and I think they were both great. Maybe my expectations were too high. Maybe my whole emotional experience personally was just too heavy to get lifted that much. So I understand that with the kind of emotional stuff that I had going on over this last, you know, a week and a half or so, this tour, it probably had a lot to do with how I was able to experience the music. So at times I didn't even feel it was fair for me to be reviewing stuff, because my own life had taken such a crazy turn in the, you know, towards the end of this tour, that it can be hard to receive the music and the experience properly when you just got your own stuff. When I'm clear, when I'm totally clear, then I know if people like it or not, I know my experience is pretty authentic, and I typically hear what I hear. I listen to things over and over again exactly like I heard it the first time. But when you're kind of not as clear emotionally yourself, when you're heavy, sometimes it's just tough to lift. And so I didn't even feel like I was going to do these reviews. I thought I just kind of had too much going on to be properly hearing the music and experiencing it, and then reporting on what I felt about it. But I can say on the tour as a whole, this was a great tour. Really, might have been a clunker or two in there, and even the clunkers weren't terrible. I mean, last year the first night at Boulder was atrocious. The night at Alpine with Bon Iver was fucking horrendous. Really, we had a couple of shows that were lackluster, but I don't think there was a real stinker in the whole thing. I mean, I could go back, but I don't think there was a real stinker in the whole thing. I think the band sounded great all summer long. This lines up good for a fall tour that'll be announced here anytime now. Maybe they even announce it before I get to post this. I don't know. Who knows? But we'll announce that. Mexico, they already announced. Put it on the screens. There, we're at the Moon Palace. Is the second week of January, something like right by my birthday. I'm going to celebrate my 50th there in Mexico. My birthday's January 10th, so I think maybe we'll bring the whole family. I don't know. Maybe I'll go by myself. I don't know. I know a bunch of y'all will be there, and I want to get to Mexico because that's going to be a good time very close to my birthday. So anyway, thank you so much for the support. We got a lot to look forward to. If you ask me, this tour was a good one all the way through. You know, you had some weather deals. Chicago threw you a curveball there. Night one, you had some weather issues. Had some bad weather hit you. Night one here in Boulder. And funny, a few thousand miles away, same exact thing happened with Fish at Fenway. Played a couple songs in the first set, had to take cover, and came out and they just played the rest of the show. So amazing how that same thing happened to both bands, you know, on the same night, a few thousand miles from each other. Incredible, just kind of the way these things work. So anyway, I love you guys forever. We'll keep reporting on things that we feel are interesting or need reporting. I don't know, maybe I'll put something together to keep us entertained in the interim. I'm not sure. I might just need some time off. But anyway, thanks for following. I love you forever, and we'll see you soon, really soon. Somewhere in time, we're going to catch you very soon. Love you.